Hello and welcome to this edition of Shorthand's Story of the Week. My name's Rachel Westbury and I'm a senior editor here at Shorthand. And today I'm joined by Kachina Dimmock, Editorial Success Manager, also here at Shorthand. Thank you so much for joining me today, Kachina. So to kick off, what's our story of the week?
Cool. Hi, Rachel, and thank you so much for having me on this week. So this week's story of the week is Relics of Sound by the Sydney Opera House.
Amazing. And so why did this story stand out to you?
Well, I really like this story because it's right from the moment that title section loads with the image of Nell holding her electric guitar. You see her standing in front of like a wall of Marshall amp speakers. And then the other half of the screen is filled up with this text that's written in like a grungy paint-like way. And straight from them, like that fills up your whole frame. You just know that the story is going to be different, like it's got an edge to it. And I think as well, just that as you continue like scrolling through the story, it's just a really nice showcase and bringing together of both the physical items. So throughout the story, there's pictures of set lists and ticket stubs and band t-shirts, married really nicely with digital artifacts. So obviously the format in which the story is being told. So yeah, it's just kind of really different and a really nice kind of marriage of both offline and online elements.
Yeah, I agree with you completely there. Those ticket stubs, when they load it up, just amazing. And you get a sense of the span of time that she's been collecting. So incredible. From your perspective, Katina, what elements of this story really make it so successful?
I guess a couple of things really stand out for me. And I guess the first is that really like personable kind of approach that the whole story takes right from the beginning, with that hand painted kind of look of the title. And obviously that's kind of replicated throughout the story as well. And it is really like it sets a scene for its like art in its most purest form, in that it's subjective and it's different. And the whole story is just really, it's got this edgy kind of attitude, which is just so unique, and really cool. And I think it's just a really nice showcase of a story being shared through both imagery and text. So even just by, glazing over the words, you still get an essence of what the story is about just by following the imagery throughout the story.
Amazing. I have to agree with you there. This really did stand out. Um, as soon as you open it up, you can just tell, especially as a brand story, they've gone bold and you just want to keep scrolling. There's a certain tension to it that I love.
Yeah, definitely. Like you can kind of hear like in your mind like the strumming of an electric guitar as you're
Absolutely.
looking at these pictures.
Oh, so cool. So, what practical tips can content creators take from this piece to inspire their next story?
Yeah, good question. And I think it kind of comes down to like the Sydney Opera House. I feel like one thing that they do really well, like not just with this story, but with all of their stories, is that they create stories that are different. And I guess a practical tip that other content creators can take from that is not to be afraid to try something different.
Brilliant. Well, Katina, thank you so much for joining me today for this shorthand story of the week.
Thank you so much for having me, Rachel.
Congratulations again to all the team at the Sydney Opera House on bringing this amazing story to life. I hope that you enjoyed watching and found some inspiration for your next story. Until next week, happy storytelling.